And they are finally here, Jada Toys' first wave of Scooby-Doo figures. I've been looking forward to these for a very long time, probably since the very first Scooby-Doo action figure review I did for the channel. And if you're an older fan of Scooby-Doo that's holding out hope for some highly articulated, super detailed figures, I wouldn't hold your breath. And even before then, before I started doing these unboxings, just higher quality Scooby-Doo action figures has been on my wish list for a long time. So I'm super stoked to get these open. I've noticed a couple issues that I'm a little worried about, but I'm hoping they look better out of the package and in my hands. So let's go ahead and have some Scooby snacks and open them up.
There's a chill in the air. You hear a creak on the stairs. You gotta lock all your doors. Is there anybody out there? They're out to get you, to capture you and make you spell. Howling, I'm prowling, you're shivering, quivering. You cannot run and you cannot hide. Yeah, you gotta face it, baby. Things go bump in the night. Wherever you run and wherever you hide. Yeah, you gotta face it, baby. Things go bump in the night. It's only who's breaking who. It's very Scooby-Doo. You hear a shriek in the house. You know it's freaking me out. They're out to get you, to capture you and make you spell. Howling, I'm frowning, you're shivering, quivering. Spell. You cannot run and you cannot hide. Yeah, you gotta face it, baby. Bump in the night. Wherever you run and wherever you hide. Yeah, you gotta face it, baby. Things go bump in the night.
Quoi de neuf Scooby-Doo? Quoi de neuf Scooby-Doo? On pense à toi c'est tout. Tu vas résoudre ce mystère. Où es-tu Scooby-Doo? Nous on te suit partout. Quoi de neuf Scooby-Doo? Quoi de neuf Scooby-Doo? Nous on te suit partout. On va résoudre ce mystère. Les indices après tout conduisent à toi mon chou. Quoi de neuf Scooby-Doo? Quoi de neuf Scooby-Doo? On pense à toi c'est tout. Tu vas résoudre ce mystère. Où es-tu Scooby-Doo? Nous on te suit partout. Quoi de neuf Scooby-Doo?
And here is wave 1 of Jada Toys' Scooby-Doo line. And I'm just going to say I'm honestly kind of disappointed in this Shaggy just because of the discoloration between the two different materials used on his shirt. The top part is a harder, tougher plastic, and the bottom is a rubber, so that way his legs can have more posability and more movement, but they just didn't get the two materials to match right. They're not the same color. I'm not sure if it's just something I managed to overlook in all the product photography, the on the floor photography, and all the people who had these figures in hand before to hype up them being sold, but it was just not something I ever noticed. So I'm frustrated that I didn't see that until getting them in hand when Entertainment Earth finally sent them over during my pre-order. And yeah, I'm bummed that the hype and the excitement I had for these figures is kind of let down by the fact that they couldn't get his shirt to be the same color. It's very noticeable in hand, and I think very noticeable in the video. So yeah, it sucks. It does suck. Other than that, I think he's a good figure. The 2D version translated just fine into this 3D form. He comes with a box of Scooby snacks and one snack, a couple alternate hands. He comes with a scared head as well that I'm honestly kind of iffy on too. I think it's just because his hair is too perfect. Usually when Shaggy's scared, it comically juts out and he's standing on end. And it might have helped this set if it had that same effect, but I think I'll warm up to it. Honestly, it's not too terrible. As for the two villains in this wave, we get the Creeper, who was Mr. Carswell in disguise, the bank manager, and the Mummy of Ankha, who was Dr. Nadjib in disguise. And these both are definitely the highlight of the wave. I think they're both great figures. I think it's kind of funny that the first wave figures both have in common that these are two characters that chase the gang down for items that they accidentally had in their possession. The Mummy was after the coin that Shaggy accidentally put in his pocket, and the Creeper was after the piece of paper that was left with the bank card. I think the thing that would have made these figures absolutely perfect is if they both had included those two pieces of accessories, just the clues that helped the gang solve the case. Would have been a nice additional touch. I like that you're able to unmask both these characters, and their unmaskings are taken straight out of the episode with how they look, with the wrappings around Dr. Najib's head and the way the mask is pulled off of the Creeper as well. It's a nice touch and shows that these figures were at least made by people who watched the classic episodes. The other negative about this set is it is pretty pricey at $29.99. That's a lot. And for that price, I would have expected at least perfection for quality control, especially for Shaggy. I will probably continue to collect the line. I am a little worried it's not going to do very well. There just doesn't seem to be that much hype for it online, at least in the collecting circles that I follow. Maybe there's a little bit more chatter on the Scooby-Doo fandom channels, but I'm pretty worried because I don't want to invest in this line and then say we get Shaggy, Scooby, Daphne, and no Velma and Fred. Or we get Velma and then we don't get a Fred. Or, vice versa. We end up only 4 members of the gang instead of all 5. That would be what hurts the most, is if we just don't get everybody. So I hope we do get all 5 of the main gang. I could see them after that doing maybe the alternate looks of like the gang in their winter gear or scuba gear or Hawaiian gear. There's tons of other versions they can do. I don't think those versions will sell well. I think they'd be better off just re-releasing the gang in like a rotation. And once they get through Daphne, Fred, Velma, then they go back and do Shaggy, Scooby, anybody who might have come in the line late. And if that happens, maybe they'll get around to hopefully fixing Shaggy. It sucks that we would have to buy him again, but I think that's going to be the better draw for the line doing well. And I do hope it does well, and I hope the rest of the gang is presented better than, unfortunately, what we got with Shaggy. So, with the steep price, are they worth getting? I think our 2 bad guys definitely are. Maybe wait on Shaggy to get him for a little bit of a discount, but I do want the line to do well, so I want you guys to buy these figures, but they got to do better. They got to do better before I can say that. Definitely pick up the Creeper and the Mummy. Shaggy, I wish, was the figure I've been waiting all these years for, but he just didn't end up being so. Alright, that's it for this unboxing. Here's your hint at the next build video. Leave a guess what you think it is in the comments below. Until then, stay safe. Happy hunting.
Nous on te suit partout, on va résoudre ce mystère. Les indices après tout conduisent à toi mon chou. Quoi de neuf Scooby-Doo?